Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel, Rainbow Soul. Me, Matt, talking to you, the viewers. And welcome to my first video of a part series. Now, I have seen some YouTubers do videos on speaking to their exes and no, not exes, just boyfriends or girlfriends, and they're like talking about how they met. And reading through like messages, how they first started courting, flirting, whatever. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. And then I realised I was single. So, then I realised I like to twerk things, tweak things. So, I am going to tell you like a little story time of disastrous dates that I have been on. And there are quite a few. And I'm more professional because like I've written it all down and everything. Yeah, so this is going to be like a few part series video thingy, whatever you call them. Because I tried to do a dummy version of this video, and like an hour later I was still talking to the camera, and I only spoke about like 4 or 5 people. So yeah. I am going to talk about a couple of things. So the main title of this video is I dated an ex-con. And so it begins. His name was Ross. Was it Ross? Yeah, Ross. And we met on the app Plenty of Fish. Now that's going back about 3 years ago, I think. 3.5 years ago. Yeah, we met on the app Wish. We started chatting. Seemed okay. We had similar interests, but he lived in Alloa, which I think, if I remember right, is the other side of Stirling. So it was a train journey away from where I was, but it wasn't that long. It was about 30 half hour, 40 minutes on the train. Something like that. Anyway, we were chatting for a while and everything seemed to be going okay. So I was like, oh, do you fancy meeting up? And he was like, yeah, okay then. So he offered to come through to Edinburgh, where I was. So I met him from the station. He turned up, so that's going well. Then we decided to go for something to eat. So we went to Frankie and Benny's. It was an afternoon. We sat down. We enjoyed a lovely meal. We was chatting away, and he paid. So that was going as well. That was going good. And I know what you're thinking. I thought this was meant to be disastrous dates, and I'm getting to it. So he, at the end of the meal, I thought that was it. I thought he was going to like probably make up an excuse, or I've got to like wash my hair or something and go home. But he was like, "Oh, do you fancy going for a walk?" So yay! We decided to go for a walk. It's like it was quite cold though. It was coming up to winter. Anyway, we was walking through Edinburgh's Castle Gardens. Quite lovely. It was like, wasn't too busy, so it was like we took a nice steady stroll through there, and it was going okay. And I was like, and I still know what you're thinking, this sounds romantic, and I'm still getting to it. So we take a pew on one of the benches underneath, sheltered, because it started snowing. So we're sitting down, watching the snowfall, really nice. And then that's when we decided to call the date an end. I said I wanted to meet him again. He said he wanted to meet me again. So I walked him to the station. So I walk him to the station and he gets on and I wave goodbye. And I'm always paranoid. I was like, oh, he's not going to text back again. He was actually a nice guy. But then when he was on the train, he texted me saying he really wanted to see me again. So we arranged to see each other again. I think it was like a week later or something. But anyway, like, go home, telling my roommate all about it. And then one night, because we'd met, we felt comfy, we decided to Facebook friends each other. So we became Facebook friends. Everything still seemed okay, and I was bored one night, decided to Google him like a weirdo does, And the first couple of the websites that came up was like BBC News, Sky Telegraph News, and I was like, oh my god, who is this person? So this is where it starts to go wrong. I was reading about this person, happened to have the same name as this person I was dating, and then I came to the conclusion it was the same person. So this person, Ross, had been in prison for stealing through fraud, or whatever that word is, £52,000 of the NHS. I'm not surprised he offered to pay for my dinner because he had the money. But I'm guessing that the police people took it off because he actually went to prison for 3 years for fraud. So I was like, I'm not one to judge. I was like, okay, strange. Obviously, you're not going to say that about tell the person that straight away on your first date. So I was like, oh. So I decided to meet him again, and it went fine. And I was like, do I like bring up that I know he's been to prison? So I decided to keep quiet about it. And it went completely amazing. The second date went well, and then because he came through to Edinburgh again, and I took him to a station, waved him off again without telling him that I knew he'd been in prison. Oh, excuse me. And that was it. And then he was carrying on texting me. Everything was still fine. And then all of a sudden, he deleted me off Facebook. I was like, okay, I thought things were going well. And at the time, I had 2 Facebooks because at the time I was making jewellery and accessories and I was selling them online. So I had 2 Facebooks, one for me, like a personal one, and one that I sold stuff on. And he had befriended me on both of them because he was interested in what I sold. So he deleted me off my personal one, but he must have forgot that he still had me on the other one. And I texted him, oh, how come you've deleted me off Facebook? Oops, sorry. I had a little message come up saying low battery. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish this video. Anyway, talk faster. How come you've deleted me off Facebook? And he was like, oh, sorry, it must have been a mistake. I've been going through like my Facebook and deleting people. You must have been a mistake or something. I was like, okay then, strange. But then I remembered that he added me on the second one, so I went onto my jewellery one, and he was still there. And this same night, he had tagged himself with another guy, enjoying like a takeaway like night in or whatever. And he was like, oh, I was like thinking, we're not like in a relationship, but it's strange that we've been texting all night and he hasn't told me that he's with this person having a takeaway night. Anyway, I was like, strange. But then the next day I noticed he went from single to in a relationship with this guy. I'm like, is he actually trying to hide the fact that he's got into a relationship with somebody by deleting me off Facebook, like trying to cover the fact that he is in a relationship? I was like, what is this? What is he trying to do? I hate cheats. And I know we wasn't like a relationship. We was just dating, but he was still texting me like we was progressing somewhere, and he'd got into a relationship with somebody else. I was like, oh my god. So then I messaged him. I was like, I don't like liars, I don't like cheats, I'm not going to text you again. And then his reply was, okay, if that's what you think, then so be it. I'm like, okay, it is what I think, so goodbye. I didn't text him again. And I was like, why would you try to cover up the fact that you're in a relationship? I'm a big boy, just tell me you're not interested. I was like, weirdo. And I wish that was like the most less drama dates that I've been on. So another date I went on, I actually like made lists, was, which one shall I tell you about next? Well, I'm going to tell you about a guy that I used to work with. Now, my friend Deborah told me about a fantastic new dating website that got started called Fab Guys. I didn't hear it. I haven't heard of it before, so I thought give it a go. So I signed up for this Fab Guys website. Only to find out it wasn't like a dating site. It was just a hookup site. So I was like, oh, I'm not really looking for hookups. I actually want a relationship. So I didn't really use it. And then I got a email saying that somebody's messaged me on this Fab Guys website. So I logged on just to see what the email was. And it was this guy, Johnny, I think his username was Johnny something. Anyway, he messaged me saying, hi, how are you, blah, blah, blah. I replied, I'm good, thank you. I was keeping it short but sweet because I didn't want to lead anyone into thinking I was on there for a hookup, which I wasn't. And I looked at his pictures, and he only had one face picture, I think. And I was like, I recognise him. Why do I recognise him? And at the time, I just started a new job. It was quite a big store, so I didn't know everyone. And then it dawned on... well, it didn't dawn on me then. I was like, oh, where do you work? Because your face looks very familiar. And he said a retail park. And I was like, oh, I work in that retail park. Where do you... what shop do you work in? And he told me. And I was like, oh my God, that's where I work. And then he was like, oh, are you the guy who I spoke to in the denim department the other day? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And because like he worked over in a different department, so I didn't regularly see this guy. So I was vague onto who he actually was. Anyway, so we carried on talking. It was only a matter of a couple of days we was talking, and he was like, oh, do you want to meet up? So I was like, he wasn't really my type, but he seemed a nice guy. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll come round. He invited me around. He invited me round on the Saturday. So I went round. He cooked dinner. We was just chilling to music. We watched a movie, and that was it. And when I went, we did exchange a kiss, and it seemed okay. I wasn't 100% into it, but I'm a nice person, so I carried on texting. But I wasn't leading him on. I was just trying to be nice, and he invited me around the following week for movies because he was a chef. Well, he used to be a chef, and his food was nice, and I was hungry, so I like food. So he invited me around for dinner, and I got on the bus, and I was on the way to his, and then he texted me saying, "I think I love you," and then that's when I felt like I hit a brick wall. I'm like, I had to read it again. Hey, I think I love you. How can somebody think they love me after meeting me one time after like outside work? And we didn't even see each other inside work for him to like have these feelings grow. I mean, like, I didn't even have feelings in like for him because like I didn't even know him long enough. How can he possibly say that he thinks he loves me? I'm like, wow, this is way too fast. But I didn't know what to say to him because, like, I've seen, like, these sort of movies. The guy or the girl says, I don't like you, and then, like, that person jumps off a cliff or something. So I'm like, what do I do? So I was already on the bus to his, so I got there, and food was waiting. So I ate the food. It was a nice day. We just watched a couple of movies, and then we kind of started kissing again. And that's when I was like, you know what, I've got to go. So I literally stopped it, got my stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, my bus is due. And then I just went. And I was like, I can't believe I was still in shock that he actually says he thinks he loves me. And then he was like, he texted me shortly after. I was like, oh, did I do something wrong? I was like, no, you didn't do something wrong. I just had to go. Made some excuse that I was up early for work. Anyway, then he was like, oh, yeah, I love you. Good night. And then I was like, why is he saying that he loves me? He doesn't know me to love me. Because I'd only met him twice outside work. And I was like, really panicking. And then I was like, yeah... I'm not really. The next day, no, sorry, the next day I woke up. I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning because that's when my alarm went off. I looked at my phone and I had 4 text messages, 2 missed phone calls, and 1 voice message off this guy, and I was like, what the hell has happened? So I listened to the voice message, and he's like, oh, hope you're okay. And the text messages are, text me back, hope you're okay. I text him, was like, what's up? I was like, oh, I didn't hear anything from you, so I was like worrying. I was like, it's 8 o'clock in the bloody morning. Why would I, like, obviously, I texted him last night to say that I was going to bed. Like, I was sleeping. Why would you text 4 times, 2 missed calls and 1 voice message before 8 o'clock in the morning when there's nothing wrong? I'm like, seriously. And then, like, the text messages kept on getting worse and worse and worse. He was like, oh, I'm really into you, blah, blah, blah. And I had to pull it straight. I had to tell him straight. I was like, dude, you are coming on like, way too strong. I have got no feeling. I have had no feelings grow for you. You need to back off. But then, like, he kept like texting me more, and the text messages were getting weirder. And I was showing my friend these text messages, and he was like, seriously, if you was a girl, you have got enough evidence here to go to the police and get a restraining order. I was like, where is this guy coming from? Seriously, he's going to be one of them people who's hiding in the bush outside my flat with a pair of binoculars and a trench coat. Jesus. And then he's texting me saying, I like you so much, blah, blah, blah. I can't bear to see you every day. I'm going to transfer to a different shop. I'm like, dude, you work in a different department. We don't even see each other at work. Jesus. I just wanted to slap him and like make sure he got a reality check. I was like, seriously, goodbye. If you want to transfer, then take your drama somewhere else because, like, bitch, I'm not interested. Sorry about my language. But yeah, I don't understand how he could possibly love me after actually meeting me once outside work, and then, like, I've got some sort of hold on him that he has to transfer to a different shop. I'm like, goodbye, yeah. Love somebody else that you've met for the first time. So yeah, that was the story of him. Then I am going to tell you another story. I am going to tell you a guy called Danos. I think his actual name was Dan, but he just wanted to be cool. Again, we started chatting on Plenty of Fish. He messaged me. He seemed really nice. Chatting away. A couple of days later, we're still chatting away. But like, I find out that he's actually talking to me from a public library because he's got no internet on his phone. And I'm like, how can somebody be in a public library all day, every day? Because I wasn't at work when we was chatting. I was on a couple of days holiday, I think. And we was chatting all day, every day. Oh, sorry, I've got 10% left. So I'm going to try and make this story fast. So we're chatting away. I was thinking, how can this guy be in the library 24/7, like, chatting to me? Anyway, didn't think much of it. We decided to meet because, like, this is like a week later. He seemed normal, but then he's like really coming on strong again. He's quoting songs to me on Facebook because we became Facebook friends, and I am going to quote one of the things on Facebook because this actually popped up on a time hop thingy. What you call it, time hop, back in the day thingy, and oh, I haven't actually got it. I thought I screenshotted it. Okay, maybe not. Oh, it's on my phone. Yeah, I'm filming on my phone and I screenshotted it on my phone. Anyway, the lyrics was from a Westlife song. Can't remember what song it was, but it was like confessing his all-dying love to me, and I'm like, oh, why do I get the weirdos? And I thought it was, to be honest, because he wasn't actually saying it, I was quoting it from a song. I was like, oh, benefit of the doubt. So we decided to meet. So there is a Starbucks. Well, this was when I lived somewhere else. There was a Starbucks and a cinema around the corner from me. So I says, oh, let's meet at the Starbucks. So I get to the Starbucks. And then I realised, okay, then, because he's on the way, he won't be at the public library. He won't be able to message me. So I'm waiting. 15 minutes passed. Giving the benefit of the doubt. Half hour passes. And I'll come to the end of my drink, and I'll get another drink, more for me. I was actually enjoying myself because I was watching. I like people watching. An hour passed, still nothing, and I did have a phone number for him, so I phoned him a couple of times, still nothing, and more for me. I waited 2.5 hours, and still nothing. So I know, that actually wasn't 2.5 hours. It was close to an hour and a half, 2 hours. But more for me, I waited around, and I was such an idiot back then. But as I say, I got a couple of Starbucks, and I was eating a couple of muffins, and I had a nice little people watching session. And so I decided to give up. I texted him saying I waited, blah blah blah. Where was you? And then the next morning, he said he went to the library, and he messaged me. Saying, oh, I did turn up, but I must have missed you. I was like, no, he didn't, because I was there for 2 hours. But he did have some problems. He had depression and anxiety, so I'm guessing he was just scared to turn up, and he didn't want to say it. But I've got depression and anxiety, as you know, and I know how it feels, so I didn't I didn't hold it against him. So I let it pass. Anyway, week passes, and I was like, oh, do you want to give it a go again? Do you want to meet? So we arranged to meet at the same place, and then I turn up, but again, he didn't. And I only waited half hour this time, and he still didn't turn up. So I just sent him a message saying, you know what? One more for me, 2 more for you. I'm a better person. I can't be bothered. I'm sorry if you've got issues, but I'm not going to constantly keep waiting around for somebody to maybe turn up. So that's what I just says, I haven't got enough time to keep wasting like this. So I was like, I cut all ties and never spoke to him again. So that is the 3rd unlucky date that I went on. And I am going to stop it there because I have got a long list. And as I said, I'm going to do this in parts. So that was part 1. And the main feature is when I dated at XCon. And if you like this, then please give me a big thumbs up. Comment below what your best story was. And if you're new to me, click that subscribe button, because it very much... what am I trying to say? I appreciate it so much. So I'm going to sign off there. Thank you guys for watching. It's a goodbye from me, Matt, and a goodbye from Rainbow Soul. Stay sassy.